For me, starting is the hardest part. I think this is true for most artists because it means that you have to do something. You can't just sit around and be passive. So in many ways, starting is an act of faith. When I begin something, so much remains unknown. There's so much potential for what the piece could be. Most of the time, I don't know what the piece is going to look like when I'm finished, or even if it's good or not, until I walk into my studio the next day and see it with fresh eyes. That's always a big moment for me. I'm convinced that making art is an act of obedience. I'm compelled to do this thing that I ultimately have really no control over. I can't control how many people will see it. I can't control if people are going to understand it. I can't control if they'll like it or not. I mean, sometimes I don't even know if I'm going to like it or not. But something really deep down inside me keeps compelling me to create these things. I like to be alone when I make art. I enjoy the silence because it helps me prepare for what I need to do. It gives me the chance to listen and to think about how I want to make the painting, all the different what ifs and decisions that I need to make. There's a lot that happens before I start painting a canvas. Some days it feels like I hardly have to do anything and everything works out really great. And some days, and if I'm honest, most days, I have to work really hard and it always feels like I'm coming up short, like I'm a huge failure. But I keep coming back and I keep making things because I've learned that my ability can only take me so far. Fortunately, the older I've gotten, the more familiar I've become with this process, and so the more I continue to work, and the more consistent the good days become. I think what matters is being obedient to my calling as an artist. I think God rewards obedience. He celebrates the good days with us, and He gives us grace for the bad days. By getting to be creative and to make things, I get to participate alongside Him as a co-creator. I get to do what He first did for us, and I think He likes that. I'm convinced that by creating things, God gives us a glimpse of the beauty that awaits us. The thing that excites me is how God continues to surprise me with this beauty every time I walk into my studio.